Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavana Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Production and Distribution Ki Jai, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtatarashata His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. We're starting chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvaraka. Text number 1. Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dadmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dadmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dadmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva. Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dadmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva. Sutta Uvacha Anartan Saupavraja Sridan Janapadan Svakan Dadmaudara Varam Tesham Vishadam Shamayan Iva. Sutta Uvacha. Sutta Goswami said, Anartan, the country known as Anartan, Dvaraka, Saha, he, Upavraja, reaching the border of Sridan, most prosperous, Janapadan, city, Svakan, his own, Dadmau, sounded, Daravaram, the auspicious conch shell, Panchajanya, Tesham, of them, Vishadam, dejection, Shamayan, pacifying, Iva, seemingly. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sutta Goswami said, upon reaching the border of his most prosperous metropolis, known as the country of the Anarthas, Dvaraka, the Lord sounded his auspicious conch shell heralding his arrival and apparently pacifying the dejection of the inhabitants. Purport. The beloved Lord was away from his own prosperous metropolis of Dvaraka for a considerably long period because of the battle of Kurukshetra. And thus, all the inhabitants were overcome with melancholia due to the separation. When the Lord descends on the earth, his eternal associates also come with him, just as the entourage of a king accompanies him. Such associates of the Lord are eternally liberated souls, and they cannot bear the separation of the Lord even for a moment because of intense affection for the Lord. Thus the inhabitants of the city of Dvaraka were in a mood of dejection and expected the arrival of the Lord at any moment. So the heralding sound of the auspicious conch shell was very encouraging, and apparently the sound pacified their dejection. They were still more aspirant to see the Lord among themselves, and all of them became alert to receive him in the befitting manner. These are the signs of spontaneous love of Godhead. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladananda Swaminti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I like this last phrase of Srila Prabhupada. He says, these are the signs of spontaneous love of Godhead. So if you think you have love of Godhead, you should check if you have these signs. Sometimes we as devotees like to practice spontaneous devotional service. And so if you have these signs, okay, you can practice spontaneous devotional service. If not, probably it's time for this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti practice. Anyway, what we'll say a bit about this. We see here the behavior of the advanced devotees. They are feeling dejected when they are not with Krishna. And I was thinking, how do I feel when I'm not with Krishna? I feel normal, I feel life is good. Because I don't have any love for Krishna. So I was searching for a reference of a specific statement Srila Prabhupada makes, and it's actually a statement from Lord Chaitanya. And I was searching and I found this class by Srila Prabhupada. And I will just read a bit because it's instructive. He says, he's talking about different types of devotees. Kanishta Adhikari, the beginner, the Madhyama Adhikari, the middle stage, and the Uttama Adhikari, which is the most advanced, like these devotees who are welcoming Krishna back to the Dvaraka. And he says, but when one becomes Uttama Adhikari, Mahabhagavata, he does not see anyone as demon. He sees everyone is worshipping Krishna. I'm not worshipping. This is Mahabhagavata. Just like Radharani. Radharani always feels that I do not know how to love Krishna. Oh, here is a gopi. How she loves Krishna. That is her. This is called Mahabhava. And then he says, so we should not imitate Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the symbol of Radharani's Mahabhava. He says that I do not love Krishna. I do not know how to love Krishna. Then if somebody says, then why are you crying? Well, that is a show. I'm making a show. I'm crying. Then what is the symptom? The symptom is that if I would have love of Krishna, then without him I have died long, long ago. I should have died. I am living still without Krishna. That means I do not love Krishna. This is Mahabhagavata, separation. So that's how these great devotees feel. We'll say a bit about it later. We'll give a few further examples. So these very advanced devotees, that's how they feel. A moment, we're chanting every moment. A moment without Krishna feels like 100 years,
feeling this separation. So we should aspire to, that's where we have to get. But then Srila Prabhupada says, this is Mahabhagavata. So Mahabhagavata we should not imitate. But we should not remain also Kanishtadhikari. We must come to the Madhyamadhikari middle stage. So these stages will be manifest gradually if we simply try to develop our attachment for Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada says mainly, yes, this is the target. This is the example of great devotees. This is where we should be to have such love for Krishna. But we are not there. And we shouldn't just try to imitate this level. As a side dish, I met this boy. He said, when you meet Christians, and you try to distribute a book to them, and they say, "I'm a Christian." So then, as a last resort, I say, I take this bhakti. I said, "Yeah, this is how to develop love for God." And then, at least 10-20% of them say, "I already have love of God." and then I'm looking at them and like, really? Maybe Lord Chaitanya has love of God and he thinks, I have no love, I'm so fallen, I'm so... And you, I don't know, you're just smoking a cigarette and you have love for God, really? So anyway, the point is we should not imitate, but we should follow the process. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking that as we feel separation from Krishna, as we should feel separation from Krishna, if we would know how nice Krishna is and how nice his devotees is, we would be like really feeling separation from him. Krishna also feels separation from his pure devotee. His Holiness Prahladānanda Maharaj was mentioning this incident about Gopakumara, when he finally, after his very, very long journey, which apparently was many lifetimes, he finally got to the spiritual world. And he went to Dvaraka, and then finally he went to Goloka Vrindavan. And there's this scene is very emotional and very nice and very instructive for us. I will just read a few texts from there and comment on in the meantime. This is when he arrives in Goloka Vrindavan. He said, "Then an elderly lady came by. I bowed down to her and asked in a plaintive voice, where Shri Nandana was playing today." So finally he got to Goloka Vrindavan and he's asking, where is Krishna? And the elderly lady said, "This morning, that giver of life to us Vrajavasis went into the dense forest to play with his cows and friends, and his respected elder brother. Later at dusk he will return." And this is very nice. The love of Vrajavasis. It says, "All the Vrajavasis are waiting on the path along the Yamuna, their eyes transfixed on the road. These trees stand with leaves erect, eagerly awaiting the chance to see him. Surely he will come along that path." So in this case, Krishna is in the case in Bhagavatam, he was away from Dvaraka for some time. But in this case, he just went in the morning to the cows, as Krishna usually does every day. And what happened to the inhabitants of Vrindavan? They were feeling such separation that they were the whole day they were just looking at the road. When will he come back again? Oh, maybe now he's coming. No, that's if you feel real love, a bit of separation, a few hours. Krishna is out, and then they're thinking, okay, when? when he will come back, when he will come back, when he will come. And everyone is sitting there and waiting for the arrival of Krishna, which will happen in 10 hours, But they are sitting there the whole time and thinking, when will Krishna arrive? So then Krishna finally arrives, and then this is the reaction of Gopakumara. He says, I didn't know whether that flute gave out poison or the nectar of immortality, whether its sound was harsh like thunder or soft like water, hotter than blazing fire or cooler than the moon. I couldn't tell. But that sound drove all the Vrajavasis mad. All of them were utterly bewildered. Of course, this bewilderment of the Vrajavasis is not like our bewilderment. And this madness, Hare Krishna, and this madness is not like our madness. Anyway, and then Krishna comes forward and everyone is in ecstasy. So Gopakumara, he's there and he's like, also feels like, okay, somehow he's impelled to run. He says, I too went forward as if pulled by someone. Joining the throng of gopis rushing forward on all sides, I too began to run quickly. So Gopakumara runs quickly to see Krishna. And what happens next? This is the most interesting thing. What does Krishna do? She says, oh, Gopakumara, this rascal who spent millions of lifetimes in the material world, forgetting me, and he didn't want to have anything to do with me, and then for a few lifetimes he did some sadhana, and he finally got here, and he came. Okay, good that he came. So what happens? How does Krishna react? Which is very instructive. And you have to understand that Krishna is there, and with all his devotees, with all the important devotees, And Gopakumara is just someone who just arrives to the spiritual world. Apparently, he's in somehow in the group of Shidama, who is the brother of Srimati Radharani. But I tried to find some reference exactly what's his connection with Shidama. So anyway, he's not that important devotee, and she just arrives, and then what does Krishna do? And then I'll just read this. He says, then from a distance I saw him, his charming flute in hand, running quickly. He emerged from among his friends and the animals and approached me, saying in a sweet voice, look, Shidama, he is my dear friend Sarupa, the sun who shines on the lotus of your family. So Krishna runs, he's between all the devotees, and Krishna runs towards Sarupa and says, oh, Sarupa, you came. Oh, so nice, He's so in ecstasy. He leaped forward and came close to me, compelled by the affection of his helpless devotees. I fainted in love at seeing him. He caught hold of me by the neck, and suddenly he too fell to the ground. So Krishna was fainting in ecstasy. Wow, he came. Wow, so nice. So nice that he came. Oh, I was waiting. And of course, the devotees, there's this phase when the devotees think, oh, this is Krishna fainted, this is someone, Kamsa sent him, and something is fishy, and everyone is in dejection again. Everyone is like, oh my God, he killed Krishna, and so on. And finally, they revive Krishna, and then Krishna tells him, my dear Sarup, this is Gopakumara's spiritual name, I have been waiting so long for you. From the moment you left Vrindavana, I have counted the days, yearning for you to return to me. Seeing you wander through all these realms caused me great pain, for you are my own, my dearest companion. Krishna then embraces him, holds him close, and the other cowherd boys are around. And Krishna says, because you desired only me, I guided you step by step. I myself became your spiritual master, your mantra, your intelligence, leading you here at last to your eternal home. So the point is that Krishna is more anxious than we are to go back, that we go to back to the spiritual world. He's there, and he will be, and he actually in this case he puts an extra effort. You know, he comes personally as his guru to instruct him in Vrindavan, and he also does everything to remove the obstacles on the path. Usually Krishna doesn't care too much about what happens in the material nature. He just, yeah, whatever. You don't want to have anything to do with me. My agents will take care. But for someone who wants to become a devotee, he personally says, okay, let's do it. Let's help him. And he arranges everything to bring us back to Godhead as soon as possible. Sometimes, you know, these arrangements can be unpleasant or uncommon. Like you have Chitraketu Maharaj, and he even saw Krishna, and the arrangement for him to go very fast back to Godhead is that he's cursed by Parvati to become a demon. And then he's killed by Indra, and then goes back to Godhead. So sometimes if you expect that Krishna's arrangement will be a smooth ride, nah. might be, but probably not. Krishna doesn't like smooth rides. Okay, I'll come back to this. So Srila Prabhupada gives a warning that we should see these examples of the Mahabhagavatas, but we should not try to imitate them. We should understand, okay, that's where I should be, but for now, I'm not there. And I'm just trying to gradually develop a bit of love for Krishna. And this means sadhana bhakti. And then, of course, this means in the beginning, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, that I really don't feel like doing it. I know I should wake up in the morning and go for Mangala Arti. I know I should chant Hare Krishna, but I don't really feel like doing it. And that's the stage. And if that's the stage, no problem. You just do it. I know I shouldn't do it. I should do it, so I will do it. I feel, I don't feel, it doesn't matter so much. And then, of course, you have Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti when you actually feel like coming to the Mangalarti. You're actually meditating, wow, Mangalarti, I have the opportunity to see Lord Chaitanya. Whoa, that's so amazing, you know. And probably you don't wake up 5 minutes before Mangalarti, run to the shower and like, fast, I have to be on time. No, you'll be 3 o'clock. There's this also, this lila with sometimes cowherd boys, they wake up in the morning and they want to play with Krishna. And they come, and they come 3 o'clock. And Krishna is not an early bird. So they come 3 o'clock, and Mother Yashoda says, yeah, too early, shut up, go back to sleep. And they come after half an hour, hey, is Krishna ready? And they're like, no, go back to sleep, go back. And they come a few times. They have to come and say, and Mother Yashoda, because they are very eager to meet Krishna. Maybe they meet him at 7 or something, but they come. You know, they are very. So if we would be eager to see Lord Chaitanya, we will wake up at 2 o'clock. It's like, oh, is Lord Chaitanya already up? Can we see the Lord? Oh no, only at 5 o'clock. Oh, okay. I'll wait a bit, you know. And at 2:30 will be like, hey, is it already time for Mangala? So anyway, that's my understanding of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. He's very eager. Oh, Lord Chaitanya, okay, we have the opportunity to associate with the acharyas and with Srila Prabhupada. Wow, that's so nice. Okay, yeah. When? And also Srila Prabhupada says in this purport that we should become, we should not imitate the Uttama Adhikari, but we should become Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari is a middle devotee. He's the Kanishta Adhikari sees deities, this is my worshipable deity, and more or less everyone else is a rascal. No, it's half joke, but more or less he doesn't have any understanding about who is who, and who he should respect, and who he should associate closely, and who he should help, and who she. And Madhyama Adhikari platform means that he more or less makes differences. Uttama Adhikari makes no difference, because for him everyone is a servant of Krishna, and everyone is more advanced than him. But Madhyama Adhikari, he makes differences. He says, okay, this is Krishna, this is my worshipable deity, and these are senior devotees who are more advanced than me, and then I should serve them and get instructions from them, and so on. And then these are devotees on more or less on the same level, so I should make friendship with them and cooperate in spreading the movement. And then we have people who have no idea what's going on, people who know a bit less than we do. And then Madhyama Adhikari differentiates. He says, okay, this is a demon, and we'll just respect him from a distance, big distance. And this is an innocent person, and innocent persons we try to help. And so that's a Madhyama Adhikari. And Madhyama Adhikari is a preacher. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Jaiva Dharma that you cannot become a Madhyama Adhikari without preaching, without showing this compassion to other spiritual souls. You cannot. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur's statement. I was like, because I heard it before from Shivara Maharaj. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, so I got more references. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Jaiva Dharma that you cannot become a Madhyama Adhikari without preaching. So, and I was thinking that actually the Madhyama Adhikari has the same purpose as Krishna. Because Krishna wants to bring everyone back to Godhead. And Madhyama Adhikari is the tool through which Krishna operates. And the Madhyama Adhikari is someone who has completely the same interest as Krishna, how to bring others back to Godhead. There's this, I remember this, there's this discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Haridas Thakur. And the Lord Chaitanya is asking Haridas Thakur, he says, Lord Chaitanya is concerned, how will people be delivered? And Lord Chaitanya says, how will these Yavanas be delivered? We are Yavanas. To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. So Lord Chaitanya is asking Haridas Thakur. Of course, Lord Chaitanya knows the answers. And Haridas Thakur is just transparent medium for Lord Chaitanya. And so Lord Chaitanya is unhappy. How will all these people be delivered? And Haridas Thakur replies, and there's a very instructive purport from Srila Prabhupada. Haridas Thakur replied, my dear Lord, do not be in anxiety, do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas in material existence. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, these words of Haridas Thakur are just befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord. When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, my dear Lord, do not be in anxiety, this is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. One who tries to relieve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada says that we should, if you want to become a very confidential devotee of the Lord, we should have this mood of when Lord Chaitanya is thinking, how will he's in anxiety, how will all these people be saved? We should think, don't worry, we will do something about it. We will, of course, we're nothing. What can we do? But we should have this mood. Okay, Lord Chaitanya is in anxiety, and we want to do something to relieve him from this anxiety. Okay, I'll just. We were in Maribor, and we happened to go to. We like to go to the universities because young people and so on. So we went to the university, and there was this lunch break, and all the students were there, and there were some Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then, I don't know, there was some event or something. Everyone had a beer before them. that was the educational event. Everyone was drinking beer, and then we were passing by. There was a big group, like maybe 100 students, and everyone had some beer, and everyone was like having fun and so on. And then we came later. We passed by later, and there was seemed like a competition. There was. They were trying to make a big tower out of glasses. The glasses, and you drink the beer, and then you have a plastic glass, and you put that, and you have to make a big tower. So, and whoever makes the biggest tower, which means whoever drank the most beer, that's who wins. So this is educational. This is our educational facilities. This is our universities. As Holiness Praladananda Maharaj says, in university you learn two things. One is chemistry. Chemistry means how to combine different types of alcohol and get different effects, and drugs, of course. So that's chemistry. And then second is biology. You learn how to have as much illicit sex as possible. So that's the universities. And sometimes we as devotees, we have this idea that we will send our children to this, or our devotees to these universities, and in this very pious association, and then they will somehow become devotees. Forget it. Anyway, this is an extreme case. Maybe that was this social event, but this is what happens in the universities, So if we think that we'll send our devotees to the universities, and then they will do finish university, and then they will get a master's and then a PhD, and they will be reputed, and they will preach to students, maybe. But will they actually become devotees in the meantime? We have a friend, and he was telling me that he wants to preach. And I was trying to tell him, hey, it's good idea, very nice that you want to preach. But how about first you start reading Srila Prabhupada's books, you do some sadhana, you practice, you follow some principles, and then you have some potency to preach, then you have something to preach. So, I'm thinking someone who studies at the universities in this environment, after a few years, he might preach, but he might preach something else. Also of chemistry and biology. So anyway, um, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita at the end, he says that for one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So this is our mission. We have to provide an alternative to the current universities, to the current educational facilities, that they can study there, or they can come to our temples or namahatas and study something else. And if we do this, then Krishna will be very happy with us. I will just, because this is his mission. He's thinking, he's going around and he's thinking, when will Bhaktayan come back to Godhead? When will Harinam Ruchi Prabhu come back to Godhead? And not only that, he's thinking, when will these students in Maribor come back to Godhead? And if these students in Maribor come back to Godhead, Krishna will faint in ecstasy and he'll be so happy. Wow! And then he will think, oh, there was these devotees in Maribor, they were helping these students to go back to Godhead. Wow, this is so nice, they're so dear to me. So this means confidential devotees. I'll just finish with the letter Srila Prabhupada wrote to His Holiness Prahladānanda Maharaj before he became... there's a long letter. Of course, Maharaj many times quoted the letter, so you know the context. So it's a long letter in which he's just telling him about different programs. There was Ratha Yatra, and in Ratha Yatra, 100,000 people came for the Ratha Yatra, and many people chanted and danced in ecstasy, and they were chanting. And devotees in this place, they are distributing many books and back to Godhead. And devotees in this place, they are distributing many books and back to Godhead. Actually, the question was how to get from Bhava to Prema. Maharaj's initial question was how to get from Bhava to Prema, because he was thinking I'm on Bhava level. It's normal for new devotees, they're usually on Bhava, and then from Bhava they go to Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, and next stages. So he was thinking, okay, I'm on Bhava, I just need next step to Prema. And there's this long letter about preaching, about, and I heard also that you are distributing back to God very nicely, and you have programs, and that's very nice, and that's amazing. And then he finishes the letter. He says, so please continue in this way, and your success in life is assured. As Krishna sees that you are working very seriously to bring his other children back to the spiritual kingdom, then he will become very pleased and will bestow all blessings upon you. Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him, rest assured. So that's what Srila Prabhupada wants us to do. This is a preaching movement, and if we contribute our best to this preaching movement, Krishna will reciprocate. Okay, we stop here. If there's some comments, questions, concerns. Rishabha Prabhu is our questioner. Examiner. We have a microphone there.
You said you had this example of a young devotee who wanted to preach, and then you advised them, start following the principles, chant, read, do service. So you kind of said to him, don't be a Goshti Anandi, be a Bhajan Anandi first. So it's like, can you kind of tell us what is the tattva between our own sadhana and how strong our sadhana has to be before we actually are able to have some shakti to preach?
Well, I mean, Srila Prabhupada's mood was that whatever you heard, you can preach. And we are not telling people that they should be bhajananandis before they can preach. Specifically, he wanted to, specifically he wanted to preach in a certain way, create his own style of preaching, you know. And for this, you need to be a really mature devotee. You need to understand very well, because sometimes we also have this idea of making a new style of preaching and maybe bridge preaching or something, creating a new style of preaching, and then this creates a big mess if you're not very clear about what's internal policy and what's external policy. So if you want to be efficient in preaching, then we should first be very clear what is our message, what are we selling. And then, so this means that we have to study Srila Prabhupada's books very well. We have to have strong sadhana, to have really applied in our lives that we can have realization. So this is so then we can preach, and our preaching has an impact. And do we stop devotees from preaching before that? No way. But you know, like we usually stop them from going home and preaching to their families, or to work to their workmates, because they have no clear understanding what is the philosophy, and they make it a mix between, you know, what's the cover, what's the bait to get people in, and what is the actual product. And also, they are not mature enough to understand how to deal with people, how to deal with different types of people, that we can present some part of Krishna consciousness for their that they would appreciate. Because every person you meet has their own personality, their own thing. And sometimes if you try to present one part of Krishna consciousness, they will reject. But if you try to present something else, they can relate to it, and then they can accept, you know. Tamal Krishna Maharaj had 3 subjects, you know. Philosophy. They had this program, this Radha Damodara, and they would go. They had big festival. Vishnu Jan Maharaj would sing very nicely, and people would come and become attracted. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj would be like okay, after if you're interested, we can discuss. And he would discuss one-on-one, and he had 3 subjects. One was philosophy, if he was philosophically inclined. He would discuss about music, or he would discuss about food. Prasada. So more or less the point is that different people you meet, you have to see what is their thing, and this means you have to understand very well the philosophy. And Srila Prabhupada made it very very simple for us to preach. You take a book, you say hi to people. Hello, how are you today? And then you, are you from here or from there? Whatever, you say something, you make a connection with people, and then you give them a book, and you don't say it like that, but you say, I'm stupid, I'm reading this book, and I'm trying to practice, but I'm new here, so I don't know much. But this is really intelligent, please take it and read it. So this is later. I'll just finish. So this is one way which Srila Prabhupada gave, where the effects of our preaching, because we're not preaching, we are just distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, And Srila Prabhupada, then they will go home, and the Uttamadhikari will preach to them. They sit down, and the Uttamadhikari is preaching to them. So this is, Srila Prabhupada was amazing, because Kanishta Adhikari doesn't know how to preach. And even if you're Kanishta Adhikari, it doesn't matter. You know, you take a book, you say, I have no idea what's going on. Here's a book, he knows what's going on, please read it. So Kanishta Adhikari can preach, you know. Like, wow, and the effect of this Kanishta Adhikari is sometimes the person who gave you the book has no idea what's going on, but you become a pure devotee, or maybe. So this is an amazing way. Srila Prabhupada was so amazing that he gave the opportunity everyone. You just come to the temple, doesn't matter. Okay, you're go give someone a book, he will read it, he gets the full benefit. So you can do the preaching. So this is one way. If you're not on that level, we can preach like this, because Srila Prabhupada preaches. And then you can also assist devotees who know how to preach. You know, they need many things. You know, we have our friend; he's cooking for us. We have some place where we can stay. We're trying to get devotees to organize different sanghas and so on. Okay, you don't know how to preach, you find a preacher or someone who knows a bit something. It doesn't have to be like Uttamadhikari and so on. And you organize something, and you cook something, and you invite people, and hey, we have a program. And you invite someone who knows how to preach, and that's preaching, you know. And you can, this is two ways where you can easily preach without being very advanced, you know. And of course, with the time we have to read the Shastras, and you can, and whatever you have. Anyway, you know about Krishna a bit more than these students at the university. Your sadhana is probably better than theirs. So you have a bit more purity than they do, you know. Your tower is smaller than theirs, you know. That's a half joke. So don't be so much into frustrated, but yeah, you know, we should work on our purity, but we shouldn't be too much. Okay, I just said something on this topic. It's okay. Someone else?
I had actually one more.
One more. Okay.
Interesting what you said, that we usually, especially come to Krishna consciousness and want to spread this mission, we want to immediately start preaching as we think is the best. And what that was just said, like, no, don't go immediately. Go first and preach pure message. Please first preach the philosophy as it is. And then after a while, when you are preaching the philosophy as it is, then you actually, when you mature enough, after a few years of preaching Krishna consciousness, then you actually start to, as you say, know the product, and then you can start to see how to adjust and relate it, not losing the essence. Really, yeah, it really sounds really powerful and logical, because I guess in the West we are already jumping into new ways of preaching. But in India, if you see, in India, the beginners, they all start first by just preaching Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Yeah. Okay, I lost my thought. Yeah, the point is that in the West we have many we have devotees who have many skills when they come to Krishna consciousness, and that's very nice. That's really good. But sometimes if you try to use these skills in Krishna consciousness without a clear understanding of what Krishna consciousness really is, what did Srila Prabhupada actually say? What are we really saying? Then you might even make a big mess, you know. And so all these skills that we have, Srila Prabhupada would call them zeros. So when you come to Krishna consciousness, you know these things, you know this thing, that things. That's very nice. But this is zeros. And what you need to do is put this one. So if someone comes with a PhD and with big whatever qualification, this whatever, if I would be in charge, I would put him 2-3 years. You act like a normal devotee. You're like you just do whatever, and you learn Krishna consciousness, and you act like a brahmachari, you're like a temple devotee, and we're gonna train you like really seriously, like that you learn all the basic. And when you do that, if you do that, after you have this one. And when you have this one, all these zeros you had from before, they are useful. Then you can see, okay, I know I'm very clear what's my product, and now I can use whatever other qualification I have to present this product, because I'm very clear. This is what we're selling, this is what we're promoting, and these tools which is coming from modern science, which is imperfect because we have imperfect senses and imperfect intelligence. So these tools, they're useful. We can use. But you have to be very clear and very grounded in what are we actually selling. What is the message of our Shri Guru Parampara? What does Srila Prabhupada say? And then your preaching can be like amazing, you know, you can explode, you know, because you have the one. And all these zeros, you put 5 zeros, then it's 10,000 or something, 100,000. Wow, hey, that's something. But you have 5 zeros, so you put 10 more zeros, it's still 0. You know. So anyway, that's the point. Okay, let's stop here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Malo još bi, ali
Sam sam neki koji Pite ga čapati pa neću staviti pa je nalagana juhica, jedan savči i riža. Juhicu jako želim. Sam čula glas kad je pričala način nešto.
Sam sa sobom. Kaže, to je normalno, ne brini, među sam se, to je normalno. A onda je skužio da treba biti samo. Ja nećem mogu, neću sad
Treba je. Ti ja. Piške.
Kakšna vila je to zdaj? Ništa, vidimo se. Pa mogu. Ja sam smahao.
Pitaj ga, molim. Znaš moj broj I pitaj ga koliko sati. Iako voli cipru.
On voli 7,5. Znači, danas se dobio 8. Tako da sutra ću odmah
Pitaj ga za cipru. Samo bi mu skuhala i ona narezala. Jer cikla bi mu bilo fino. Onda imamo još čaj, od tiga kajži, čaj za
Čekaj, dobio sam neki ajurvedski. Dobio sam neki ajurvedski.
Nije baš najbolji. Uglavnom sik i uloga riža i jako hoće. Ti ga piti.
Idem ga piti.
I halu.
I halu.
Ne može se halu, valjda neće halu.
Ne, Ivan, dođi nam reći, mi smo tu ili na doručku. Dođi ti na doručku.
Ti više, valjda.
mislim, da so tam lahko.
Kaj pa pisane?
Seveda, verjetno se bo tako zdaj na novo zaposlila.
Ti sam podavčni, ne rabiš nitove zapisi za poslene. Davčna pa naslov.
Da se lahko to spremeniš, ali boš?
Koga?
To, kam si daš.
Tu lahko spremeniš, jaz sem, če si dal enkrat za Krišno, pa če hočeš spremenjati, potem skozi uredno, ne rabiš.
Ne vem, ker jaz moram prej, takrat se zaposlil, mislim, da jaz moram standardno Krišno. To lahko vsak let spremeniš.
Moram čez vsako stvar ganjati.
Si, bomo ni problema. Ne, malo sem brez glasu.
Parki tem dati, mnogih te prav. Dejan gre v Vrindavan zake?
Ne, zdaj še zamore zdaj dela za to, ker ima puf za bajto mora zrihati. Ker je vzel za streho in vzel dosti denarja na puf. Tako da zdaj do mnogo, kdaj rekel do marca bi delal, kdaj.
Pove pa oba na prsta.
Pa bo videl, kako da. Pa bo službo zamenil sam tako na izid, tako da pol ali bo sam polovično delal, pa to nekaj, že bo je cajt.
Meni bi te plan.
Zdaj čakam, da bi spravil službo, čakati na to licenco, še mislim, kar ne lahko. Pa ko pridem, da delim skaznice, kot telefon. Da, to bo bil ampak bo verjetno, ker bom imel 12 ur, bom šel po moje, kar malo tam zadremo, pa to bi moš. Aj se malo kar ne ljubi. Moram pa jutro, no? Krišna. Ja, Krišna, ne spet, pa jutro, pa jaz moram Krišna. Krišna. V sredo tako pride, ko smo rekli, si pa nastavljal. Na v sredo pride, ne bom pa izpol, kaj težko.
Koliko to težko je?
No, v sredo pride, smo se zamenili.
Isto, mislim, barem ovdje nismo premalo vsi imeli sami, znaš, da onda, da se bildaš, da se suportiraš, da se inspiriraš.
Da pričaš ljudi,
To pa je, mislim, nisem isto, da bi bilo ne. Mislim, jaz sem vse, znaš. Moram res. Ali, mislim, da je bilo, da je ono, redko ko može, ne znam, 10 godina samo sam kirtan, da je bilo neki pričin, ki još, znaš, da je ona pola, ne.
Mislim, da ima ta, sem jaz ljučen, da vam prašam. Če ima više,
to isto, ali nema puno toga Slovenije, par sanka, ne, to je jedna, 3 nedelje, 2 nedelje. Možda po kakih knjižnicama najbolj sve, ne znam, 5, 10 ali mislim, ne može, mislim, ne znam.
Ste vse samo zaročil. Ja, ti si rekel, to je to, no? Ja, nisem. Ravno si rekla, da ti. Ok. Kaj si misliš? Želijo te tvojih. Ne, glavno te, na lekciju pašem začal, pačanki. Nekaj stvari naredimo kašem. Opa gremo na to, da paš na tempo. Ovo je že fitness pa. Če luče, kdo je če luče? No da, sam delo. Ono delo. Je pa jutra.
sviđa mi se tvoja ideja, zadovoljavam nas.
Je rekel, če bi greo na džapo, da greo malo, na džapo okna. Sem rekel, prišel, sem rekel, laga na džapo okna, ampak ne se opresaško to ostalo.
Se radi imajo tudi, radi kako kilo da bi gor.
2 pice misliš, kaj? Svaki 2. Hare Krišna. Idemo dalje.
Sigurno bo Čandra mali sam zelo zadovoljen z vama. Rekel, ta dva pa imate okus.
Predvsem za pice.
Ta dva pa imate okus. Veta, ona znate šta hoče.
Možemo da neću puno doručka uzeti, nešto voće se. Bolje mi kad sam malo gladniji stalno, bolje
Da. Ja ću jedno i drugo. Se pravi, ne smije praviti za zajtrk jesti, ne? Jesti ne.
Se to ne bo za zajtrk, to bo za malco.
Kaže, Prabhupada kaže, health is what you can digest. Ako možeš probaviti, ako ne možeš, onda bolje.
Imaš posla, da?
To je dobro za zajtrk malo, onda ima snagu, ako možeš.
Pa ja bi se prosil, da bi prisnuli, ja sam u Indiji slane voće